In the previous lesson, we created our first process, which is often known as a standard operating procedure, or SOP. Now let's see how we can actually apply this process to real work that needs to get done in your business. More specifically, work that needs to be done repeatedly and follow the process to ensure consistency. In this lesson, we'll cover the difference between a process and tasks, and the difference between tasks and a project, and how to use ProcessKit to generate projects and tasks based on your process, and also how to use ProcessKit to track progress on multiple projects and tasks. Now, what's the difference between a process and tasks? Well, as you've learned, a process is the place where you document how a particular set of tasks should be done in a consistent, efficient way. But a process does not contain the actual tasks themselves. Tasks, on the other hand, are those real-time to-dos that someone needs to execute at a particular time, usually as part of a larger project or a deliverable. A good way to think about it is like templates and instances. Your process is your template. A task list is an instance or a copy of your process template. And so this is how a process can be put to use repeatedly in multiple instances, each at different stages of progress. But you can't just have lots and lots of tasks flying around everywhere. That's where projects come in. Tasks belong to projects. And a project is a single deliverable with a start, a finish, and a final tangible outcome. To execute a project from start to finish, you and your team would execute a set of tasks. A project would also contain details, notes, conversations, materials, and an activity log. Now, continuing with our example, you can think of the onboarding of a new client as a project. And this project would contain a list of tasks that was built as a copy off of your new client onboarding process. Now, you'll be onboarding many clients at any given time, so you'll have many of these onboarding projects at various stages of completion. Now, since your goal is to run a predictable, scalable operation, then the more that these projects look alike, the better. They should all be following the same or similar versions of your process. All right, let's create our first project in ProcessKit. Now, projects live inside of boards. You can get to boards here in the navigation. And we'll cover boards in depth in the next lesson. But for now, let's just go into the projects board, which is created by default in every new ProcessKit account. If your ProcessKit account doesn't have one, you can go ahead and create a new board called Projects. Let's click into it now. So let's say that we've just signed up our newest client, a company by the name of Dunder Mifflin. Perhaps you've heard of him. Now we need to onboard Dunder Mifflin into our business so that we can begin delivering services to them. So we'll create a project to manage the onboarding of this new client. Let's create a new project, and we'll name it Onboarding of Dunder Mifflin. And then click Create Project. Now that we're inside of this project, it's time to add a list of tasks to execute as we onboard this new client. So let's create a new task list. Now, we could create a custom-built list of tasks for this project, but why should we go through all that trouble when we've already created a process for this? So we'll use our process, we'll select our new client onboarding process, and click Copy to Task List. And voila, now we have a fully formed task list built as a copy from our process. And these tasks are ready to be checked off and executed by our team. Speaking of, did you notice how our team members have been automatically assigned? Our process made that happen. And we can open up any task to see the detailed instructions that we've built into our process. Oh, wait, what's that? Another new client? We're on a roll here. So let's fire up a second project now to onboard our latest new client, Sterling Cooper. So I'm going to back out to the projects board, and we see the first project there. Now we're going to create a second project. Let's call this one Onboarding of Sterling Cooper. Once again, we'll create a task list copied from our new client onboarding process. And let's go ahead and check off more of the tasks in this task list to simulate this project being further along than the first one. Now let's back out to our projects board once again. Notice the progress meters on these two projects. How this onboarding of Sterling Cooper is 71% along, and the onboarding of Dunder Mifflin is 29% along. Now you see how projects let you manage multiple instances of the same type of work, each containing tasks that follow your standard process. Now, if you think that that was easy, you ain't seen nothing yet. All of what we've just done manually can and it should be automated. That's what we're going to get into in the upcoming lessons. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to automatically load the right process for the right projects using boards.